Here you go. Scottish wildcat. Right. So this is one of the challenging things there in CAE. Not only CAE, FCE also. Kids who have done FCE, they might have seen the gap text, right? Jada, for you, Scottish wildcat is the straightforward title. Scottish wildcat, right? That's a straightforward thing. First, what you need to do is you don't have to worry about the gaps and how to fill the gaps. First of all, you need to understand the actual passage, right? And I want to see this is the original Cambridge paper. Let's. I'm going to guide you with a few of those things. First, we need to read it properly. It's about Scottish wildcats. The author is writing very intensely. Jaita, first paragraph, can you read it?
On my living room wall, I have a painting of a wildcat by John Holmes, of which I am extremely fond. It depicts a snarling, spitting animal, teeth bared and back arched, a taut coil spring ready to unleash some unknown fury.
The very first paragraph is very important. What Jaita read was very important here. On my living room wall, I have a painting of a wildcat by John Holmes, of which I am extremely fond. It depicts a snarling, spitting animal, teeth bad and back arched, a taut coiled spring ready to unleash some unknown fury. That's a huge description for a wildcat. The photograph is there on the wall. So the author has set up this tone. Scottish wildcat, extremely fond. He is liking that. So you don't worry about the gap. Keep reading. Try to understand. Look at the first paragraph. You've got that photograph. There is this fury. Look at the fury, rage, anger. Look at that. Lot of clues are given with the first paragraph so that you can fill it in the gap. Don't worry about the gap. Keep reading. Now, Jaina, read the second paragraph.
Yes, sir. However, the physical differences are tangible. The wildcat is a much larger animal, weighing in some cases up to 7 kilos, the same as a typical male fox. The coat pattern is superficially similar to a domestic tabby cat, but it is all stripes and no spots. The tail is thicker and blunter, with 3 to 5 black rings. The animal has an altogether heavier look.
Behavior, look, very nice, very nice. Look at that. Listen intensely here. However, so the box, something is happening in the box. However, the negative word they are starting. The physical differences are tangible, or they can. What is tangible? Measurable, that you can see the physical differences between the wild cat and also the domestic cat. So they are trying to compare something in the box with comparing between the wild cat and the domestic cat. They say, however, the physical is tangible. The wild cat is a much larger animal, weighing in some cases up to 7 kilos. Big one, the same as a typical male fox. The coat pattern is superficially similar. On the surface level, only it is similar to your domestic tabby cat, but it is all stripes. But it is all stripes and no spots. Bigger animal, there is no spot. The tail is thicker. Note it down. The tail is thicker and blunter. You are going to face this kind of a thing right in between. The tail is thicker and blunter, and with 3 to 5 black rings, the animal has an altogether heavier look. This huge one, that wildcat is huge. That's what the author is saying. Very good. Now you got an idea about the Siva paragraph 3.
The Scottish wildcat was originally distinguished as a separate subspecies in 1912, but it is now generally recognized that there is little difference between the Scottish and other European populations. According to an excellent report on the wildcat printed in 1991, the animals originally occurred in a variety of habitats throughout Europe.
Yeah, enough. Very good, very good, very good. Now, the author is giving a lot more information in this paragraph. The Scottish wildcat that was in the picture and on his wall was originally distinguished. Originally, it was differentiated as a separate subspecies in 1912. But it is now generally recognized that there is little difference between the Scottish and the other European populations. According to an excellent report on the wildcat printed in 1991, the animals originally occurred in a variety of habitats throughout Europe. Wow. Just before the gap, they are finishing, they're talking about habitats. They are talking about their living places. They were also talking about there is no difference between Scottish wildcat and the other European nations wildcat, like France or Germany or even UK. They are setting up something. They are trying to talk through the habitants, their living places, wildcat living places. So something has to happen in the gap 42 about the living places. That's a clue they are giving. Okay, let's keep moving. Siva, do the next paragraph. So Pranav, do the next paragraph.
It was during the 19th century, with the establishment of many estates used by landowners for hunting, that the wildcat became a nuisance and its rapid decline really began. 198 wildcats were killed in 3 years in the area of Glengarry. For example, however, things were later to improve for the species.
Wow. The way Siva read is, the way he was reading, very clear pronunciation and very carefully he was reading. And did you observe that? Very good, very good. That sign that he can really understand, internalize. Look at that way. There is some hunting going on. 198 wildcats were killed in this paragraph in the area of Glengarry. For example, however, things were later to improve for the species. They are finishing the gap. Just prior to the gap, they are saying that there is a endangered species. 198 wildcats were killed. There has been an improvement of the species, means the killing stopped for some reason. That is going to happen in 43, gap number 43. Look at the way the author is closing out. Were later to improve for the species. That was a bad phase, 19th century. But just prior to the gap, the author is saying, however, things were later to improve. There is some improvement in 43. So don't worry about the boxes still. I mean, the gap still. You have to keep reading. Very nicely done. Suba, I mean, not Suba. Sugita, read this paragraph. Next paragraph.
The future is by no means secure. Though
One second. Very good. The way she started. The future is by no means secure, right? They are talking about the present in the box. They are talking about security in the box. It means, look at this. The way they closed, the way they opened after the game, they are giving a lot of clues. 43 is going to be so easy because the improvement is going to happen here. The future is not secure. The present, there is some huge positive activities going on here. Keep going, Sita. The future is by no means secure.
Though and recent evidence suggests that the wildcat is particularly vulnerable to local eradication, especially in the remoter parts of northern
and western Scotland. Very good, very good, very good. So now the author is saying vulnerable. That's a weakness. The cats will be in danger. They are talking about because of some reason. Now she's going to read. Read it now. This is a cause.
Scotland. This is a cause for real concern, given that the animals in these areas have less contact with domestic cats and are therefore purer.
Yes, stop here. Purer, purer, purer. They talk about two types of cats. The wild, here wild in the northern and western Scotland, they are totally different. They look like totally different. They say purer. Look at the way they are saying. The author is saying purer. It's not going to look like domestic cat. So 44, something is going to really happen here in 44 because it's purer. Those cats are vulnerable to attack. They might get extinct. Keep Sugita, keep going for this paragraph. Part of the problem.
Part of the problem stems from the fact that the accepted physical description of the species.
One second, Sugita. Part of the problem stems from the fact. So they are going to tell a problem inside 44. Do you understand, Sugita? Part of the problem stem. So they are going to talk about the problem in 44. So that's kind of important. Keep going. Part of the problem stems from the fact.
From the fact that the accepted physical description of the species originates from the selective nature of the examination process by the British Natural History Museum at the start of the century, and this has been used as the type definition for the animal ever seen. Animals that did not conform to that large blunt-tailed tabby description were discarded as not being wildcat. In other words, an artificial collection of specimens was built up, exhibiting the features considered typical of the wildcat.
Yes, stop, Sugita. This is the most challenging and difficult paragraph. But let's figure this out. Part of the problem stems from the purer, they talk about purer cats, domestic and wild cats. They're going to talk about, they are going to compare it in 44. They're going to place a problem when comparing in 44. Then this is a huge paragraph. You have to be very careful. Part of the problem stems from the fact that the accepted physical description of the species originates from the selective nature of the examination process by the British Natural History Museum at the start of the century. Here lies this. They have got some checklist how to differentiate the wild cat from the domestic cat. They have a checklist, and this has been used as the type definition for the animal ever since. Now comes the important point. Animals that did not conform to that large blunted tail. Look at this Avantika. Uh, Animals that did not conform to the large blunted tail. Large blunted tail. Did you see this here? Look at this. Here, look at the way they talked about. The tail is thicker and blunter. The tail is thicker and blunter. That's only they say large blunt-tailed tabby description were discarded as not being wildcats. In other words, an artificial collection of specimens was built up, exhibiting the features considered typical of the wildcat. So they have not done big research in the past. They have not done big research in the past. Simply they are saying they might not be wildcats. They are as same as domestic cat. Now the thing is, Sugita, read the last paragraph again, the current research.
The current research aims to resolve this potential problem. It is attempting to find out whether there are any physical features which characterize the so-called wild living cat.
Superb. Currently a research is going on. Current research is going on. There is, and they want to resolve this problem. We know the problem, what it is, differentiating wild cat from the home domestic cat. It is attempting to find out, the research is attempting to find out whether there are any physical features which characterize the so-called wild living. Apart from this blunt, the blunt tail, the thicker, the larger animal, apart from that, is there anything else we could find out? That's what the current research is aiming at. Now, 45, it's going to extend on the research. See, look at that. Whether there are any potential features which characterize the so-called wild living cats. So 45, it is going to be about the current research. It's going to be about the report, something they are going to say. Because right after 45, there is something is coming here. Avantika, can you read this? Right after 45 box, can you read it?
But what is lifestyle? Wildcats kittens are usually born in May or June in a secluded den, secreted in a gap amongst boulders. Another favorite location is in the roots of the tree.
Very nice. Wait, hold on. Very nice. Look at that. This gap between like 45 and 46 gaps, crucial information is given. But what of his lifestyle? The wildcat. But what of his lifestyle? So they are talking something about the wildcat in 45. Then they are contrasting with but what of his lifestyle? They are talking something other than lifestyle in the box. Wildcat kittens are usually born in May, June in a secluded den, secreted in a gap amongst boulders. So they are talking about the birth, the birth of this wildcat. Another favorite location is in the roots of the tree. It could be amongst the boulders or of a tree. Boulder, you know that, right? Big stone. It's among the boulders or in the roots of the tree. So in this, just prior to the gap, the author is talking about the birth, the birth of the wildcat. Now, 46, you know what it is? It could be after the birth, something could happen, right? Sugita, do you understand what I'm trying to say? After birth, something could happen in 46. Right there. Avantika, read this after 46.
Rabbits are the favorite prey, and some of the best areas to see wildcats are at the rabbit warrens, close to the forest and moorland edge.
Wait,
I
very nice. Very nicely read. Now, right after the gap, the author is saying rabbits are the favorite prey. For whom? For the wildcat, rabbits are the favorite prey. Now, just before the prior to the gap, they were talking about the birth. After the gap, they are talking about their food. Their food. What is wildcat's food? Rabbits are the favorite prey, and some of the best. Now, birth to the food. In between, they are going to definitely talk about wildcat's life, some part of the life. That's what it is. Rabbits are the favorite prey. Their food. They are talking about the food, and some of the best areas to see wildcats are at rabbit warrens, close to the forest and moorland edge. Keep going, Avantika.
Mice, small birds, and even insects also form a large part of the diet, and the animal may occasionally take deers.
Young deer. Avantika, very nicely done. Here, so the mice is the food, small birds, young deer is food, insects and all food. They are talking about the food, right? They are talking about the birth prior to 46. After 46, they are talking about food. Keep reading, Avantika.
The wildcat is one of the Scottish Highlands' most exciting animals. Catch a glimpse of one, and the memory will linger forever.
Beautifully poetic and wow, what a lyrical end to this piece. The wildcat is one of the Scottish Highlands' most exciting animals. That's why he is keeping that image on his wall. Catch a glimpse of one, and the memory will linger forever. Will linger forever. Now, see, we put in a lot of effort to read. This is what you need to do quickly in the exam. You have to read. You don't have to worry about the box. You don't have to worry about the gap text, but worry about the original text here. Now you got an idea, Avantika, you got an idea, right? Wildcat comparison, you got an idea. Now, you guys, you have to skim and scan very quickly. You can read couple of times before even going through this. Now, with that background, I'm going to give you guys some time here. You can go through on your own mentally. Here, look at that. There are totally six, right? Six gaps, but seven sentences are there. One is additional extra, which you have to throw off. The remaining six you have to go. I gave you some clue for each gap. When you read it, how they close prior to the gap, how they start prior to the gap. Those two things you have to be extremely careful about. Okay. This one you can take it as the last question here as part of use of English. You don't have to do it initially, Sugita, because it takes time. Whatever time is left out after doing everything else, you can take this. But the thing is, this is what it is. I'm going to give you 20 minutes. Is it okay? 20 minutes is okay? Sugita, Siva, 20 minutes is okay. Avantika, is it okay? Now, I have given you some guidance using which try to do 41 through 46. Okay? You have to give me 6 letters in succession, in the order 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Don't worry about this score, but worry about analyzing, performing, and try to get it done. Okay, even if you get a bad score, don't worry. But the think through this: how they close the gap, how they start the gap, right after the gap, how they start. Are you guys are okay? Can you do it? Is it a, will it be a challenge? Can we do it? Jaina, Jaita, do you have some confidence? Can we do it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Take your time. If you want, I can reduce it so that you can see the whole thing here. Always remember, You put in a lot of effort to first read through the main passage to really understand what the author is saying. Kevin, are you confident?
Yes, sir. I don't know.
You try your best. Look at the key area is how how the author is closing just prior to the gap, and how he is starting right after the gap. Something is happening in between. So take your time. Don't worry. Take your time, and you are going to make it. Look at the pronouns. Look at the way the character is there. Some there will be his, there will be it, there will be they, there will be something here. The pronouns that will connect back. Kavin, can you do it? Kavin.
Sir.
Sure, you have done FC. I am very hopeful about Kavin. Kavin can crack it. Sai Gayatri, are you working on it? I have got it from Siva, Jayana, Jaita, Chris, Kevin. I have to get it from Avantika, Sugita, Sai Sivagayatri, and Kevin. Kevin. I didn't get it from Kevin. So Kevin, Sai Sivagayatri, Avantika, and Sugita. Jaina Jaita, don't worry about this, okay? Don't worry about this. There are a lot of easy parts out there. This one you have to take it as the last one. You have to take it as the last one in the exam. Avantika, good try, Avantika. Good try. Good job. You should be taking more time here to analyze if you need be. So that's why I am saying this one you keep it as the last one, Avantika. The use of English reading paper. It's a huge paper. You have like 4 sections of use of English and 4 sections of reading. Out of the 8, I would suggest you take it as the eighth part, eighth section that you want to do. Okay, part 1 to 8. So because it takes time and also we are not very sure of some of those answers means it's better to spend time on other parts of it so that you can try to score maximum out there. I need it from Kavin, Sai Siva, Gayatri and Sugita. Only 3. Kevin, good try, Kevin. That's what I said. You have huge potential. Sai Swagatra, good comeback. Good comeback. Very good. Very good. This is what it is needed. Good job right there. Superb. Sai and very nice. Very nice. Kevin, this is what you need to do. Only one Sugita. I am waiting for Sugita now. Sugita, are you there? Yes, Sugita. Sugita, can you give me your set of answers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a chat, DM to me, and we'll start it. All right. Here you go. Can you send it again, Sugita? All right, here you go. I got the first glimpse of it. A lot of you did well. Most of you have done well. That's a very good news. All right. Sugita, are you resending it? Because I saw your first one.
Sir, I have sent it. Wow. There you go. Here it is. All right. On my living room, I have a painting of a wild cat. Look at that. On my living room wall, I have a painting of a wild cat by John, of which I'm extremely proud. It depicts a snarling, spitting animal, teeth bad and back ache, a taut, coiled spring ready to unleash some unknown fury. Now I want it for 41. However, the physical differences are tangible. So they're talking about wildcat and this. Now you tell me 41. I'm going to go with Soprana. What is your answer for 41?
Sir, G.
Why do you want to choose G instead of F?
Sir, the second paragraph talked about the differences, sir.
Okay.
And the G talks about the similarities.
It's talk about the, however, wow. Um, it is, when you say similarity, can you help me with the G? How they are talking about similarity?
The bigger version of the domestic cat and probably shows For the wildcat is little more than a bigger version of the domestic cat.
Superb, superb. Now you say the differentiation right after gap 41. Can you tell me where the differentiation happens? And, where will they talk differently about these two?
The coat pattern is superficially similar to.
Yeah. So they talk about so the what was there any confusion for you between F and G?
No, sir.
Sure. Then coming to 42 here, according to an excellent report on the wildcat printed in 1991, the animals originally occurred in a variety of habitats throughout Europe. Now, throughout here, right after this, something is touching here in this thing. 42. Sugita, can you answer me 42?
Yes, sir. Sir, my answer is B.
B or D?
Sir, D.
Why is your answer D? Why did you choose D?
Sir, because this paragraph ends talking about habitats,
Yes.
and paragraph D starts like they probably used the deciduous and coniferous woodland for shelter.
Super. The shelter and the habitat. That's what I told. It has to be. They are going to give a big clue here. They are going to give a huge clue. So just beginning of the paragraph and ending of the last paragraph prior to the gap. Beginning and ending. Beginning and ending is every paragraph is important. The habit. They talk about habitat and they talk about deciduous and coniferous woodland for shelter. Superb. That's the answer is 42 is going to be D. 41 is going to be G, 42 is D. Now, very good one. Now, it was during the 19th century with the establishment of many estates used by landowners for hunting that the wild cat became a nuisance and its rapid decline really began. 198 wildcats were killed in 3 years in the area of Glengarry, for example. However, things were later to improve for the species. Now you tell me, Chris, what is going to be 43?
Sir, A.
Why it is A?
Sir, because they are speaking they have just said about the things were later to improve for the species, and in the A they are speaking about it only, like because the men were
What is the improvement? What is the improvement in the paragraph A, in the gap A? What is the
the
improvement they're talking about?
were recruited in the army for the war, so there were no people to hunt them, because of which the population rose.
Beautiful answer. This is how it is going to be. That's what I told. Like when we described later to improve, the improvement is going to be there in 43. What is the improvement? The recruitment of men to the war, the First World War, 1914 to 1918. It means that there is no persecution, there is no hunting at all. Amazing stuff. The recruitment of men to the armed forces during the conflict in Europe from 1914 to 1918 meant there was very little persecution since gamekeepers went off to fight. As the number of gamekeepers reduced, look at that. The wildcat began to increase its range. That's a current scenario, and it's a very, very hopeful scenario. Recolonizing many of its former haunts, extinction was narrowly averted. Then they say the future is by no means secure. Past was bad, the present is good, but future is no more certain. It's no certain anything. So they connected brilliantly there. 43 gap. 43A is the answer. Super. Now, look at this. They talk about this no means secure and all. They talk about and they say very nicely say the future particularly vulnerable to local eradication, especially in the remoter parts of the northern and western Scotland. The future is not looking certain, and also it's looking gloomy. This is a cause for real concern, given that the animals in these areas have less contact with the domestic cats, means they are totally dissimilar, totally, and are therefore purer. They are pure and wild cat, nothing to mix with domestic cat. So they talk about there is a complexity in identifying, like this is totally distinct, right? They are totally distinct here. That's what they say. Part of the problem they talk about right after the gap problem. Right, Sugita, what is your answer for 44?
Sir, F.
F as in Frank. Why did you choose it? Part of what is the problem they are talking about in F? Go ahead, Sugita. What is the problem they are talking in F? Siva, can you help us? What is the problem they are talking in F, Siva?
Sir, the physical description.
The physical description. That is the problem they are talking about. Can you help me identify the physical description in F?
Sir, they said that the research currently being undertaken by Scottish Natural Heritage is investigating whether the wildcat is really distinct from its home living cousin, sir, which is the
Super, super,
domestic.
very good. That's the research. The then after 44, in the paragraph below 44, what is the research suggesting or is going to suggest? The current research aims to resolve this potential problem. The problem is to really distinguish the wild cat from the domestic cat, right? It is attempting to find out whether there are any physical features which characterize the so-called wild living cats. Okay, I got that. Siva, can you help me with 45? How do you feel 45?
Sir, C.
Why it is C?
Sir, the research result will be uh, told
What are
short.
those results? What are those results? What results they are talking about?
Sir, are there any physical descriptions matching
Yeah,
similar?
the results of the current research, isn't it? The results
Yes.
of the current research. Keep reading C.
The results which are expected shortly will be fascinating, but anyone who has seen a wildcat will be in little doubt that there is indeed a unique and distinctive animal living in the Scottish Highlands, whatever his background.
Super. So the author is very clearly saying it's totally distinct, isn't it? Completely distinct, and also it's very pure. That's what they say. Very good. So the 45 is there. Now, Siva, can you read that thing for 45, just prior to 46? What is that?
So should I say the answer?
No, first read it.
But what of his lifestyle? Wildcat kittens are usually born in May or June in a secluded den secreted in a gap amongst boulders. Another favorite location is in the roots of a tree.
Okay. Now, rabbits are a favorite prey. They talk about birth, they talk about food. In between, what is going to come, Siva? 46?
Sorry,
Why do you say that? Why do you say he is going to come?
sir, it's in the last line it says that later they will accompany their mother on hunting trips, learning quickly and soon become adept hunters themselves. And in the next paragraph, they say that rabbits are a favorite prey.
Superb, superb connection. This is what everybody wants to know. So they in the gap they are talking about towards the end of the gap. They are talking about hunters hunting thing. They themselves hunt very quickly. They learn it. And what is the prey? What is the result out of the hunting? Is our favorite prey. Superb answer. And lot of his code full. Lot of his code full. I am very happy. And one or two only they lack in this. Don't worry. As I told you, I can like about 10 different tests I have given. Go back and look at the questions and try to match the answers, and you can see a lot of those connections here. What I told, I took a original Cambridge paper I was discussing. And literally 4 of you, I think 4 of you got full score because they have worked on it. And I know some of you are working very hard on this, and you have to practice more. That's what I want to say. And also, if you are not scoring very well also in this section, don't worry. Have this as a last one. Don't waste your time on really going through this again and again. Last 15 minutes or 20 minutes you allot. If you can allot only 15 minutes, that's okay. Within those 15 minutes, whatever you try to do, that should be fine. Okay, but always focus on it. How they start a paragraph, how they finish the paragraph. That's the key. How they start it, how they end it. So after starting and ending, the gap is coming. The gap automatically will get it. So sometimes start of the paragraph will help you. Sometimes the ending of the paragraph will help you. All right. First of all, you have to read the passage without worrying about the paragraph text. You have to really read the original passage, then try to fit it in. Again, I keep telling you, don't worry much about it. Take this as the last resort, the part number 8, total parts 8. Okay, this is what it is. I could see like Avantika Sai and all, Sai and all doing great on this, and it's very heartening to see that, because you guys have to really put a lot of effort on this. Look at this. Only this is the main thing with reading. Other than that, I have seen a lot of you performing well with the use of English. Right now, look at this here. Here you go. This is, I wanted to show you 1 hour 30 minutes. This is what I told. This is a one full stretch of paper. One full stretch. Kavin, I have to mention Kavin. Amazing stuff. Very clear. You had clarity of thought. Whatever you did, everything was correct. Okay, Kavin, good job. Okay, if you're able to do it, this is the key paper. 1 hour 30 minutes. 15 minutes or 20 minutes you allot for gap text. Other than that, you shouldn't have a problem with multiple close, open close, and also keyword transform. I mean, word formation, keyword transformation. We have done a lot of work. The keyword transformation, there is a partial credit and full credit, and uh, I have given you a lot of work to really work on. You can do it. If you want more exercise, you can just you can direct message to me. I should be able to get you this at the C1 level. So the fifth one is a typical school level comprehension. That's all. You should be able to figure out. Only thing I want advice is they will have answers period, like chronologically. First paragraph, first question, second paragraph, second question, third paragraph, third question. If you look into it, you have to really work on a single paragraph to answer a single question. So that's easy. The easiest of the reading sections out of the 4 is this one. You remember we did spend one full class on this. Do you remember, Sai? This 4 thing, cross text matching. The one thing that I want to say about this is one simple thing. ABCD, the letters can be repeated. Can be repeated. It means you read all the 4, you might not be using one of them or 2 of them. You see that? Minimum 1 of them. So the letters ABCD could be repeated. So that's all it is. All the 4 paragraphs you have to see. This one, the last, but I will keep it as the last but one. So this one, this part, and also part number 7. 6 and 7, I'll keep it for last. This is what we have done. This one should be easy. This one is the last one, should be easy, because you focus on consultant A, for example, for first paragraph. Whatever focus you are going to do, you are going to get it right here. So you have to be careful. Again, you don't worry about the questions first. Read it out. Then you go paragraph by paragraph. You scan and skim the entire thing. Then you go paragraph by paragraph. And you see that approximately 2 will come from each text. For example, you have 5 means 5 into 2, 10. Approximately 2 will come. Sometimes 3 and 1 also can come. So the one point is this is the easiest, like the part number 5, right? So the first and the last one, you should be able to do it very easily. Because straightforward. Only the gap text and also cross text matching, you have to do it at finally you do it. It's very important to manage the time. First to do whatever easy ones, whatever the ones you are able to finish. Where the analysis needed, the part 6 and 7, where the analysis is needed, you have to take time at that towards the end. That's what I want to say about reading and thing. And there are a couple of things I want to say. In case if you need some more guidance, you can DM to me. I should be able to help you, right? The other thing I want to say about the writing. Writing is the easiest thing you can do. You can score well. You can score so much in writing. In case if you lose out on reading or use of English, or especially reading, you can compensate it with the writing and speaking. I know all of you are doing speaking very well. We have done a couple of classes on that. So if you want, I can resend some of the videos, the speaking videos by Cambridge, so that you can really look into it. But writing is one area I want to quickly talk about right now. Please pay attention. Look at this. I'm going to really come out very, very quickly here. Look at this. Writing is one area you can super duper score like anything. Look at this. I'm going to get this one right away here. Okay. There you go. I'm going to open this up. Again, focus on what I'm going to say for next few minutes, because this is going to help you achieve the better score here. Okay. If we could see here, I'm going to attach it now. Again, writing is one thing. I am ready to correct it. If you send it across to me, I am ready to help you. We have done a separate class on this, if I remember right. I could help you with it. I could even have one class if you want, I can do it. Look at the 220 to 260 words. Part 1 has got a bigger weightage, right? Look at this. You have to choose 2 among the 3. Then you have to finalize one. We talked about it. Discussing 2 of the facilities out of the 3. Then is the more important. Out of the 2, which one is more important? 3 to 2 to 1. Is that we talked about paragraphs, right? 4 paragraphs, introduction, and the bullet 1 and bullet 2 that you choose, then conclusion. That 4 paragraphs have to be there, right? If you want, I can help you guide through this. You can do like 1 or 2 writing. You can send it across to me. I can help you with it. I can also send you model paper during this week, model answer. I can also send you, so that that is going to help you a lot. Every sentence has to be punctuated. If it is a question mark, means you have to end with the question mark. If it's a full stop, you have to end with the full stop. If it's an exclamatory, you have to end with the exclamatory. Okay. This one is so easy because they have given a lot of things. This is a compulsory part 1, 220 to 260. You follow the rules. Follow the rules. Don't go overboard, or don't go less than what they expect you to do. This is so easy. It is in your hands. All of you, the grammar wise, everyone is okay. That's going to help. But the organization, the way you present is going to be important. As I told you, during the week, I'm going to send 2 or 3 model answers, so that you can template it. You can do this. Now come to the important thing here. Part 2. Same 220 to 260, but only thing is there are 3 choices given. Look at that. Everyone look at it. 2, 3, 4. You have to answer only one. You have to answer only one. Very, very important. Kids who have done FC, they know it. The part 2 is, you can't do all the 3. You will not have time, right? Only one you have to choose and do it. I'm going to send again model answers along with the question to all of you, so that you can do it. The writing is one area, super duper, you can hit it right away. You see what I'm saying? Writing and speaking. Avantika, do you understand what I'm saying? So if you are going to lose out on reading, which is probably like it's a little bit hard one. Some people also lose out in listening because it goes just like that, and only twice you are going to listen. So the listening and reading is the key, but writing and speaking you can make it up. So whatever you are losing out on reading and listening, you can make it out on writing and speaking. That's what. So here, what I said is 2, 3, 4. You have to mention the number. Question number 2. You are going to choose 2 or 3 or 4. As I told you, I am going to send you model papers for writing to help you, and also speaking videos for you to look and see. We have got part 1, part 2, part 3. In case if you want a quick session on writing and speaking, I am ready to allot one class during next week before the exam. You let me know so that I can arrange with Sandhya ma'am, so that I can check my availability and go with writing and speaking. You don't have to worry. You guys are a lot of the Indians. As Indians, we have a lot of strong points. We can do writing well, we can do speaking well, we can do grammar well. Okay. Sometimes the reading and some parts of listening could be tough. And as I told you, I am ready to spare one more session to give you guidance. Now that we have about 14 minutes, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I should be able to answer any of the questions. If you have like any questions, Sugita, do you have any question? First time you are going to appear for a Cambridge exam. Jainar, Jaitar, Suprano, Avantika, Sai, Chris, everyone has attended once at least one exam. Sugita, do you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, that's strange. No, no question. So confident. Very nice. Very nice to hear that.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Go ahead, Avantika.
How to write a report, sir? Is like a letter or?
No, it could be like this. Look at that. It could be a report. Look at that. I will send you a sample of that also. I'm going to send a sample of that also. It could be a report, or it could be a review, right? Or it could be a letter. Any one of those. It could be any one of those. The part 2 alone, I'm going to send example for each one. You can choose one of those. If it is going to be report, it's formal. If it is going to be review, it could be semi-formal. If it is going to be a letter to whomsoever it is concerned, depending on the context, it's going to change. What is your question actually, Avantika? What is your question?
Sir, I don't know how to write a review, sir.
Review is a semi-formal one, like a movie review or a drama review or something like that. Can I send you
like
a
passage writing?
It's more than the passage, it's kind of an article. The article is also say semi-formal, that you see it in newspaper, that you see it in. What I'm going to do is, can I send you some samples on that for each one?
Yes, sir.
I will send it across. What is really how you did it in MC also, you can, that will also help. But I'm going to send it to everyone here. Very good, Avantika. Is there any other question apart from writing?
Sir, like in the letter, we will always get informal, or should we
It
get...
could be formal. If you are going to write it to the boss, it's going to be formal. If you are going to write it to your friend, it's going to be informal. If you are going to write it to an authority or a teacher, it's going to be formal. What I can do is I can send you each type. I can send you each type for the letter or review or anything. Whatever types is possible, I can send you a sample. If you want, we can have a session next week also.
Yes, sir, no problem, sir.
Yeah, because we have done a lot of work with part 1. We didn't do much work with part 2, I understand. But probably I can help you with that with the last class. All right.
And sir, for speaking, sir, like we have like done it long before. So I think we should do one more like for that.
Yeah, we can do it. We can have one session where we can do writing and speaking.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so let's do it. I'm going to fix the date. I'm going to ask Sandhya ma'am to give you guys a call, and we should be able to do it. All right. Writing. Jaina Jaita. Any other area apart from gap text? Any other area?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Sai Gayatri, any other questions you want to ask?
No, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm very happy the improvement that you have made over the year. Super, very good. The gap text, the way you handled, I really liked it. Super. So Pranav, any
So,
specific questions, so Pranav?
sir, in reading, there are some words we don't know the meaning of.
So some of the words, since it is at the CA level, if you're not exposed to that, don't worry. You have to really guesswork and do it because the vocabulary comes through only extensive reading. If every single class I used to advise, keep reading, keep reading, keep reading, because when you have extensive reading, you're going to get it. I understand it's a very good question. What Siva has raised. Any kind of English exam requires extensive reading and listening. When you read a lot, when you listen a lot, one thing I did, like more than 20 papers I have sent you, isn't it, Siva? Listening paper. All the
Yes, sir.
listening you go through. When you go through the listening, a lot of the vocabulary comes in. That is going to help you in your reading. Do you understand what I'm saying? Uh,
Yes, sir.
when you spend a lot of time on reading, that's going to help you in reading. When you spend a lot of time on listening, it's going to help you in reading. That's what I want to say. Um, Jaina Jada, how many of the listening tasks you have done, which I have sent you through links?
Sir, maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, try to do as many as possible going forward. Because listening requires practice, reading requires practice. That's what. Sai Gayatri, will you be able to do 4 or 5 listening before you come for the exam?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is a crucial time. We have just 1 week left on this. The 1 week you have to really focus. Whatever questions I should be able to answer, and I should be able to guide you with the right kind of material. And Kevin has attended FC. Kevin has attended FC exam, if I remember right.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, the format is most similar. Only it is at the next level. In that case, like Avantika, Krishwant, Kevin, Sai Siva Gayatri, they have exposure. My only concern is to go with Siva Pranav, Jaina and Jaida. But Siva Pranav has done amazing stuff. He has worked on a lot of reading papers, listening. He has worked on a lot of use of English papers, and I could see that's showing up. Okay, yeah, Chris, try to complete all those 10 papers, Chris. Okay, and you can also help Kevin in this regard.
Okay, sir.
So, and we'll try to have one more class. I really want to have one more class focusing on the writing, especially the part 2. And also, as you said, one speaking, that the same session can have speaking also, so that writing and speaking, you guys can really revel on that, because whatever knowledge you have, you can actually do it. Reading and listening is input based. Writing and speaking are output based. The output based is, it's easy for any Indian to do it. They do extremely well. But the reading and listening that comes from outside a very standard native text, that's why it's a big challenge. But we should be able to do it. And if I convene a class, the so-called last class, everyone should be present and should be able to take care of it. Okay, you should really come out with the questions that I can help you with. Again, writing part 2 and speaking will be covered in that. If you want me to cover anything else also, I can help you do that. Okay. Any other Siva? Any other questions?
Sir, could you cover listening also on the next class?
90 minutes. You want me to cover that also? It depends on the time. What do you want in specifically listening? We have done 3 different sessions on listening. Do you remember? We did 3 different sessions on listening. What do you want me to cover? I can guide you part by part. That's okay. We can take 30 minutes session, one more session. We can do. Where do you have problems? Because like reading, it's a input based. Yeah. whatever you have gained in your mind, you are going to use your mind to really resolve that. And grammar, you can crack it, but reading and listening, it's very subjective when you try to answer. And I can help you, so Pranav. If you have specific questions with reading and listening, I can help you with. You want me to run through one more listening test or what? Yeah, mock test.
Sir, could you cover the part 4 alone?
Part. Oh, that you very nice. You nailed it. We'll cover part 4. We'll cover part 4. That's cool. We can take a couple of examples. We can run through it. Very nice. Because good that he raised this question. The last part you have to answer. Speaker one means you have to go with the 2 answers. The people who have done FCE, it's very easy for them. People who haven't done FCE, that's a little bit hard. Because yeah, at the pit level, it was not the original pit level, it wasn't there. Right? Very good. Jaina Jaita will take care of you, okay? And we will just see the listening. You be there for, if you are going to have 2 sessions, that's okay for me. We can do it. Very good, very good. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Yeah, we have to do writing part 2, listening part 4, and also speaking. We can do it. Kevin, do you have any questions, Kevin?
No.
Yeah, Kevin. And I think you
Sir,
need
you
to,
will send the format of review and report, right?
Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
Sir, you will send the format of review and report, right?
Oh yeah. I'm going to send the model answer. I'm going to send a model question along with the answer. And when we meet the next time, we are going to explain that. Okay. Super. Thank you very much, all of you. Have a nice Sunday. I'll try to send that writing as quick as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.